Hello, thank you for joining me. My name is David Charles, International Psychic Medium, coming to you from beautiful North Devon in the southwest of England in the UK. And the sun is just going down over the Atlantic, the beautiful Atlantic Ocean. We have some beautiful sunsets here. Tonight, or this evening, I'm doing a reading for you called What is he thinking about me? Or what is she thinking about me? Very popular reading. I do it every month or two, and it's time we updated it. So, there are 4 packs of cards. 1, 2, 3 and 4. I'd like you to choose 1, 2, 3 or 4. It's a timeless reading. That means you can find it today or next year or 10 years from now. It makes no difference. You'll find this reading when your spirit guides want you to find it. And so if you choose 1, 2, 3 or 4, I'll put the timestamps below for you so you can find the number you chose without having to watch all the others. But you can choose more than one deck if you want. You can choose 2 or 3 if you want to, all of them if you want, or go to one of my other readings on YouTube, and there are over 130 now. Before I do this, thank you so much to my subscribers, every one of you, thousands of you all over the world. I do appreciate it. And if you want to subscribe, click the subscribe button and the little bell icon, and you'll get notified every time I upload new videos, which is usually once a week, but it's changed a bit with the COVID thing. So that's 1, 2, 3 or 4. You may like the crystals, you may have a lucky number, or one just feels right for you. It won't all resonate with you. Take in what does, ignore what doesn't, or choose a different number. So if you chose number 1, we'll do that one first, and put these out of the way. And I'll look at the negatives first. That's 4, 3 and 2 up there. Number 1. If you chose number 1, this one's for you. As I said, I'll tell you the negatives first, and at the end of the reading I'm going to look at 4 oracle cards, there they are, to see if they back up what I've told you, and then I'm going to give you 6 magic lucky numbers. Lucky numbers chosen by me with my spirit guides just before we started filming a few minutes ago. These lucky numbers could change your life forever. This time next year you could be sailing away in a yacht, or driving a Lamborghini, or buying a new house. Of course, you must gamble safely. If you use them for gambling, don't be daft or irresponsible. Let me tell you your negatives first, number 1. It's called, What is he thinking about me? So it's a love reading, to put it mildly. That's what most people like. The negatives indicate trickery from somebody around you who is up to no good. There's dodginess, there could be lies, there could be betrayal, and I'm looking 12 to 14 weeks ahead, so this could still be to come, but it means you've got to be careful without being over the top or paranoid. Be careful who you trust, especially if it's the man or lady we're looking at. What is he thinking about you? What is she thinking about you? There could be trickery, but not for all of you. I think there's, on a separate subject, there's somebody at work who you need to keep your eye on as well, or linked to your earthly life, the way you earn your living. May not be at work. It could be someone who pops into your work and they're a bit, well, I think you've been let down there before, and you're still defensive because of it. You may have spotted, if you can see this on if you're on small phones, I'm not sure, but that's the 3 of Swords, 3 swords going through a heart, which can be in a triangle of 3 people in the same love affair. So you may be married and seeing somebody outside of wedlock, or you may be single and seeing somebody who is married and you may not even know about it. Or you may be being deceived or two-timed by somebody, or you may be doing some two-timing of your own. Naughty. So, if you're in a triangle, try and be aware of it. If you're not sure, it could be that you are heading for, not yet maybe, but you're heading for a lover's triangle, and that's the last thing you want. But of course you can always watch my readings for guidance. So the negatives indicate trickery, people at work or linked to your work who may not be trustworthy. I do pick up there's a woman around who's worried about you as well. If you're a girl, it could be one of your friends. If you're a man, it could be a man. There's somebody around you that cares about you, that worries about you, a bit of an animal lover, person that likes nature, a tidy, smart person, but they're worried about you. It could be your mum or your dad or your son or your daughter. But somebody's worried about you, number 1. Work out who it could be. Tell me in the comments. I love to hear your comments. Now let's tell you some positives. Well, before I do that, it's not a lovey-dovey reading, as you may have seen if you can see these cards and you know about tarot. there's not one there's not one cup card in this reading. The cups are the hearts in a normal deck, which hearts, of course, represent love, passion, and nice feelings of romance. But there isn't any in this reading. Doesn't mean there won't be any love coming your way, but it could mean that there's not much at the moment, or that your lover and yourself may have been having a bit of a tough time, or probably treating each other like friends rather than lovers. But that doesn't mean it won't change, because things are changing, and I'll tell you the positives. The spirit world are encouraging you to take a chance, to take a leap of faith, to do something that you've been thinking about but never got round to doing. They want you to take a leap of faith. You may have seen the Fool card here from the Major Arcana. He's standing on the edge of a cliff, ready to leap over. The dog looks at him as if to say, "Are you mad?" So they want you to take a chance, but they don't want you to leap into a ravine or dive out of the frying pan into the fire. So take a chance, but be a bit careful. Don't be reckless. And it could be that taking a chance will change your love life quite significantly. Let me know in the comments. But I think there's a few other things apart from love in this reading. There's money coming. There's financial improvement coming to you, number one. Could be a pay rise. You may win something with the lucky numbers I'm going to give you in a few minutes. But these lucky numbers could change your life. You see here the Ace of Pentacles. Aces mean new beginnings. A pentacle is the diamond in an ordinary deck, and the pentacle can mean new beginnings and new money. So watch out for that. You may have seen the Page of Wands here as well. And the Page of Wands means somebody's bringing news to you, and it's good news. It could be news about your work. It can mean news of a pregnancy, which comes up all the time. I know it does, but pregnancies happen all the time. But there is a pregnancy possible around you. Are you pregnant, number one, if you're a girl? You're not pregnant if you're a bloke. But there's a pregnancy here, and if it's not you, then it could be you soon, or it's somebody close. It's got to be close, otherwise it wouldn't be in the reading. So somebody's pregnant. It can mean news of a job offer. There's all sorts going on here, but I think really a lot of you, number one, are getting ready for a brand new lover. I'm not picking up who this person may be, but it could be someone that you've known for a while. It could be someone that you would least expect. That's not really your type. But suddenly you feel for affection for him or her. So the name of the reading is, what's he thinking about me? Well, there's not all that much to say that there's somebody there thinking about you in a loving kind of way, but not yet. But I do think it's coming, because there's good news coming. There's possibly a pregnancy coming, but that could be with someone who you should be closer to than you are really. Let me know in the comments below. You're about to take a journey, number one, a journey of discovery. You're going on a journey soon. This means that you're learning about yourself. You're learning about number one, which is you. And you should treat yourself like number one as well. Good news coming, money coming, new beginnings. This reading indicates lots of new beginnings. There's two aces. There's the ace here, I beg your pardon. And as I said earlier, that can mean new beginnings and new money. But not the other ace. The Fool means taking chances and trying new things. To boldly go where you've never been before. So looking at this, you've got many more positives and negatives. It doesn't answer all your question about love, and I'm not going to make up things that are not here. But as I said, it won't all resonate with you. Let me know in the comments, or pick another deck. Let's take a look at some oracle cards, do 4 of these, and see if they back up what I'm telling you before we do your lucky numbers. Don't go without your lucky numbers. This first one is a fire card. Looks like a fire as well. Sparks everywhere. If you can see that, maybe not on if you're on a small device, but this card says to you, number one, you are experiencing enormous change right now, which brings great blessings. Well, that coincides with the Fool card, change. The Ace card, change. The Page of Wands, new things going on. So you're experiencing enormous change, number one, right now. It's happening now. which brings great blessings. This is a very, very positive sign, a very positive reading, and I'm thrilled with this reading. Although it's not all about love, which is what it's supposed to be about, it shows opportunity, it shows new beginnings, and it shows good fortune. Watch out who you trust around your romantic life. Don't be deceived, don't be betrayed if you can help it. It can happen without your knowledge, behind your back. Watch out who you trust around your earthly life, particularly if you're going to work. Don't be paranoid, but don't tell people all your business unless you know that they're okay. Let's take a look at the second oracle card, a water card this time. They've all been shuffled. A droplet of water, macro high-speed photography, wonderful. This one says, number one, trust your intuition and care for yourself and others. Trust your intuition and care for yourself. Are you not caring for yourself, number one? Very naughty. You need to look after yourself and others and trust your intuition, which tells me that some of you are a little bit psychic. Let me know in the comments, are you psychic, number one? Trust your intuition, remember? Let's take a look at this one. As I said, it's a timeless reading, and if you've chosen number one, from these hundreds of cards, and there are hundreds here, then there will be meanings in here for you somewhere, number one. Trust me, there will be. A fire card, another fire, that one looks a bit... Someone gone camping, I think, there. Very romantic. This one says to you, harness the creativity, excitement and enthusiasm and great things will happen. So another positive, very positive reading. Harness your creativity, excitement and enthusiasm and great things will happen. Looks like a good time coming, number one, for lots of you. One more, then your lucky numbers. A water card this time. Looks like an antique lighthouse in the mist. Glad I'm not there. This one says to you, it's time to let go of the old and worn out, I don't believe it, so that new can come in. There you have. Let go of the old, take a chance, take a leap of faith. It's backing up. They've all been shuffled, as I said. It's time to let go of the old and worn out so that the new can come in. It's time to change, number one. It's exciting. It looks really, really good. One of the best readings I've seen for quite a few days, actually, and I do hundreds. So, lucky numbers. These numbers could change your life forever. This time next year you could be a millionaire. This time next week you could be a millionaire. As I said before, gamble safely if you're going to gamble. And you don't need to use all 6. You could use 3 of mine and 3 of yours or something like that. You could use all 6 if you want. So, they may be familiar. They may be wedding days, anniversaries, and numbers you've lived at, house numbers, car number plates. You may recognise some of them. Be interesting to hear what you have to say in the comments. The first number for you, number one, is 13. Then your next one is 14, 26, 31, 33 and 40. Do they ring any bells? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments when you strike it rich. I won't tell a soul. 13, giving you again 13, 14, 26, 31, 33 and 40. These numbers could change your life forever. Remember, David Charles Psychic, medium. If you want a reading with my team, and I only employ the very best, it's David Charles Psychic Limited. Go to my website, David Charles Psychic Limited, and they'll read to you from anywhere in the world. And remember, having had such a good reading as well, remember number one, wherever you are in this beautiful world, think lucky, and you will be lucky. Think love, and you'll be loved. And I love every one of you. Take it easy. Stay cool. Catch you later. Bye-bye. Hello again, thank you for staying with me. If you chose number 2, this one is for you. As I said earlier, it's a timeless reading, which means you can find it today, next week, or 5 years from now. It makes no difference. You'll find this reading when your spirit guides want you to find it. And if you chose number 2 from these hundreds of cards, and there are hundreds here, then there will be messages in here for you somewhere, number 2. It won't all resonate for you. So take in what does and ignore what doesn't. And it's called What Is He Thinking About Me, or What Is She Thinking About Me? And I'm going to tell you the negatives first. Then we do the positives. Then we do some oracle cards, and then I'm going to give you 6 lucky numbers that could change your life forever. And I mean change your life forever. Lucky numbers that could, well, you could be sailing away on your new yacht in a week from now, well, a few weeks from now maybe. But remember, gamble safely and responsibly. If you use my numbers for gambling, they were chosen by me with my spirit guides just before we started filming this evening. So your negatives. Well, what is he thinking about me? Your negatives indicate, there are a few negatives, a bit of backstabbing going on. You can see the bloke there with the sword stuck in his back, if you have a big enough device to see that. And that indicates a bit of backstabbing. Comes up in lots of readings because it's quite common, I suppose. So somebody around you, number 2, may be not very nice behind your back. Let me know in the comments if you feel that could be true. I try to answer all my comments, but somebody behind, this is the negatives. Somebody around you may not be very true behind your back. And then you have also the moon card from the major arcana. This can be a bit naughty as well. It can mean that if you're a lady, there's a lady behind you, behind your back again, that could be a bit nasty and a bit spiteful. So these are not nice things, but at least you know about them now, or the possibility of them. I'm looking 12 to 14 weeks ahead, so this may not have happened yet, so try to avoid it if you can. Watch out who you trust, but don't let it stop you trusting anybody. Negatives, where's the negatives? There aren't many negatives apart from that, really. You may be seeking help from somebody in a caring profession. Could be a GP, a doctor, a medical person. It could be someone helping you with difficulties around the house, or an advisor, citizen's advice maybe. Somebody who cares. Could be the local vicar. But somebody is giving you sound advice soon, so listen to it. If you're a woman, it's going to be a bloke. If you're a man, it's probably going to be a woman. But somebody will give you advice. You may be seeking out advice. Now, I've got a feeling here that lots of you are quite psychic that are watching this. Maybe that's why you're watching it. But there's spiritual activity all around this reading, and lots of you, not all of you, are being guided at this very moment by a male in spirit, a man in spirit. It could be a granddad or someone you lost some time ago, or even recently. But somebody's guiding you as we speak right now, and they're with you at this moment. They may have guided you to come to your device and watch this reading. So, let me tell you some positives. The question is, or the name of the reading is, what is he thinking about me now? And disappointingly, it's not full of lovey-dovey, but there is the 4 of Cups. There. Cups, of course, are the hearts in an ordinary deck of cards. They mean love. They're filled with love. That shows a chap looking away, not seeing clearly that there is an admirer there. He's not seeing it. Which tells me, number 2, that some of you have a secret admirer. Somebody fancies you, and they may be afraid to tell you. They may think you're not available. You could be married or otherwise engaged. But you have an admirer. Think about it. Let me know in the comments who it is. Somebody fancies you, and it could turn into something good if you want it to, if you allow it to. So the question is, what is he thinking about you now? Only applies if this person is thinking that he wouldn't mind having a romance with you. But apart from that, there's not lots of love in the reading. I'm not going to tell you there is when there isn't, but it means it may be to come, because there's lots of good things as well. One of the good things is a person who travels. If you're a girl, it's possibly going to be a man, unless you're into same-sex things, of course. But this person travels. They're reliable. They're the person who says they will do things and they do them. They're successful, maybe in business, or maybe very successful with their career, probably been to university, but they travel a lot, and they're the kind of person who you know that won't let you down, that won't deceive you or two-time you. And if it's a romance coming your way, then he is thinking about you. So the question is, what is he thinking about me? I think this person, for some of you, is thinking of making you an offer, but it won't apply to all of you, as I said earlier. And this offer, I believe, could be romantic, but it could also be linked to a career thing or a business move, some kind of business or career opportunity that could be linked to a possible future love affair. Complicated reading, this one, but I've got to tell it as it comes out. The reading here, number 2, indicates that you are going to be rich. Richness is predicted. Of course, richness, as I say every time, doesn't often mean money, although it can do with my lucky numbers I'm going to give you. With your lucky numbers, I should say. Richness is predicted, which usually means richness inside your heart, in there. So the question is, number 2, what would make you feel rich? Because that's what's predicted. If it's money, then you're going to get some money. That's what it's coming out as. If it's love, then love is coming your way. It may be a new house. What would make you feel rich? Let me know in the comments. Richness is all relative to the person, of course. But richness is predicted here for you, and I think you'll be overflowing with it. If it's love you're looking for, and that's what the reading's about, so I think that's what it'll be, then love is coming your way. I can't be specific about where, but some of you are going to meet this person that travels a lot. Could be a man or a lady. For lots of you, it will be a man. He travels a lot. He could be a businessman, is successful. If he had a new job on Monday, he'd be good at it. He has the way, the Midas touch. He has a way of making things look easy when, of course, they require extreme amounts of talent and hard work. Nothing comes easy. Now, you may have seen the Strength card here from the Major Arcana. The girl likes animals. She's caressing or petting a ferocious lion and making it soft and timid and caring. So it shows a person with strength, a person who has the strength to calm the raging temper in people sometimes. You may have also noticed that the Strength card, the lady looks pregnant. It happened in number 1, it's happening again. Pregnancies come up an awful lot in the readings because pregnancies happen all the time. So you may be pregnant, number 2, or it could be your partner if you're a chap or a girl with a girl. But there's a pregnancy in the reading soon. As I said, I'm looking 12 to 14 weeks ahead. So it may not happen yet, but if you want to try for a baby, some of you out there, this is the time to do it. Because I think pregnancy is pretty much assured. And that may be what makes you feel rich. You may feel richness because you're expecting a new, brand new, tiny little baby, and how lovely that would be. Let me know in the comments. So it's not a bad reading. You have a secret admirer. He or she may be frightened to approach you. I always say it's like when you go to a dance. In the old days, you want to ask a girl to dance, but you daren't ask in case she says no, you look daft, walking back across the dance floor all alone. So he may be looking at you like that, thinking, why bother, she'll only tell me no, or he'll only say no. But if that's the case, and you know who it is, you may need to make the first move. I'd love to hear that in the comments. Tell me below. So, you're going to be rich in the heart. Watch out for a bit of backstabbing. Apart from that, you may have to see someone in a caring profession. It could be the dentist. But there's nothing bad in this reading, except I think there's a bit of backstabbing, and there's jealousy from a woman, maybe more than one woman, and they're probably jealous of your charisma, maybe your character, and maybe your beauty. Let me know in the comments. But let's take a look at some oracle cards and see if they back up what I've just told you. Then we do your lucky numbers. Don't go without your lucky numbers. They could change your life forever for the better. The first one is a water card, all been shuffled. This card, somebody's been building stone. There's a name for them, I can't think what it is. Stones in the stream. This one, number 2, says celebrate a community of friends and happy announcements. That could be the pregnancy, couldn't it? Celebrate a community of friends, so it's not all backstabbing and nastiness, or happy announcements. Let me know what that means in the comments. Only you know what it means. Let's have a look at another one. This is another water card. Oh, that's good photography, that. If you can see that, I'm not sure if you can. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Excuse me. Open your heart and mind to those around you. So be friendly, be loving, be kind. That's a part of the person you are, I think. That may be why you get a bit of jealousy around sometimes. But good card. Another water card. And another one after this. Another part of stone, this time on the beach, I think. Yeah, it looks like the beach. Could be over the road and down the road. This one says, allow your mind, body and soul to flow intuitively. As I said, some of you, according to what I'm picking up, are quite psychic. And it's encouraging you to allow your mind, body and soul to flow intuitively. Go with your inner thoughts. Trust your inner vision, as the song says. Another water card, and they have been shuffled, but this one looks like autumn leaves through a frosted up window or steamed up window. Someone's left the kettle on. Time to make the tea or the coffee, I think. I think they're maple leaves. Could that be Canada? Let me know in the comments. This one says to you, number 2, missing out on an opportunity. That's a question. Open your eyes to the possibilities. Are you missing something, number 2, sorry. Missing out on an opportunity. Don't miss out. Don't miss out on an opportunity. Open your eyes to the possibilities. Let me know in the comments. You have a pretty good reading here. It looks like some of you out there are due for new love, brand new love. Some of you are falling in love with someone you least expected to. Now I'm going to give you 6 lucky numbers. Lucky numbers chosen by me with my spirit guides just before we started filming this evening. These numbers could change your life forever. They may be familiar, they may be like addresses you've lived at, anniversaries, wedding anniversaries, divorce dates, house numbers you've lived at, car number plates. Am I repeating myself? As I said, please gamble safely if you use these numbers. Gamble responsibly. You don't need to use all 6, you can use 2 or 3 of them and 2 or 3 of your own. Let's see if they ring any bells. The first number for you, number 2, is number 2. Strange coincidence. Then number 11, 17, 27, 28 and 41. Do they ring any bells, number 2? I'll give them you once more. They are number 2, 11, 17, 27, 28 and 41. Let me know if you win the jackpot down below. I won't tell a soul, I promise. You could be a millionaire in a week from now. So, good reading, possible pregnancy. Be nice to know if you were. I'd be very interested to hear that. Remember, if you want, by the way, if you want a reading with my team, and I only employ the best, go to davidcharlespsychic.com or David Charles Psychic Limited. It's a limited company. And one of my team will read for you, and I only employ the best from anywhere in the world. And remember, if you'd like to subscribe, I'd be so grateful if you did. Remember to click the little bell icon as well. And give me a like and share me with your friends if you'd like to. I'll get to it in a minute. Remember number 2, wherever you are in this world, think lucky and you'll be lucky. Think love and you will be loved. And I love every one of you. Stay cool. Catch you later. Take it easy. Bye-bye. Hello again. Thank you for staying with me. If you chose card stack number 3, this one is for you. It's called What Is He Thinking About Me, or What Is She Thinking About Me? It's a love reading, of course. We're all interested in love, and this is a pick a card reading, as you know. It's timeless, which means you can read it, you can watch it today or 10 years from today. It makes no difference. You will find this reading when your spirit guides want you to find it. And if you're watching this today and you chose number 3, from these hundreds of cards here, you just pick these 8 in front of me, There will be a message, at least one message in here for you somewhere. So stay with me. At the end of the reading, I'm going to give you 6 lucky numbers that could change your life forever. And I mean change your life forever. This time next week, you could buy your new house of your dreams. You must gamble safely if you use my numbers. Those numbers were chosen by me with my spirit guides just before we started filming this evening. Just before I started filming this evening. But my spirit guides are here. So, this is what is he thinking about me? And this is the negatives first. Then we do some oracle cards. The negatives indicate, well, the devil card. You may have seen that. From the major arcana, devil means temptation. Temptation is coming. And I always believe temptation comes to test us out, to see how we react. And the usual message is, if temptation comes through in a reading, then you should avoid it. But you may be already subject to it. I am here looking 12 to 14 weeks ahead. So, temptation is coming if you're not already a part of it. If you are, you need to walk away from it. Otherwise, you could get some bad karma, and you don't want any of that. This is not a negative reading, but I will tell you the negatives first. There are signs of arguments. And if you look at this, the swords and the people seem to be having a battle there. The swords, of course, are the spades in an ordinary deck of cards. That card signifies arguments, quarrels, conflict. Don't argue with your next door neighbour. Don't argue with your wife or your husband, because you'll lose. When arguments show in any reading, and it happens to be all these readings, it means you won't win an argument, so don't bother. You'll be wrong, even if you're right. But the message is, the question is, what is he thinking about me? Well, there's a few complications here. Let me tell you the positives, because I can't see any more negatives. I don't think you're eating too well, some of you. And I think 1 or 2 of you have some bad habits. Some of you may be smoking, or drinking too much, or not eating enough, or eating too much. You may need to sort that out. That could be linked to the temptation as well, of course. But stick around for the lucky numbers. They could change your life. There are a few complications in this reading, because it appears you may be looking for something and feeling that there's something, well, it feels like something missing. But the something missing may be right under your nose, back in your old backyard, as the song says. You may be looking unnecessarily for something that you already have. Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so, and thank you to my thousands of subscribers now all over the world. I really appreciate it, and all of your comments and all of your likes and all of your shares with your friends as well. The complications here are that you may have a lover around you that travels quite extensively. He or she is quite romantic when they want to be. They can buy you perfume when they want to, and then the next minute they're probably a bit strange, or not seem uncommittal, maybe the right word. I think the person travels a lot, but that applies to most people these days, I know. You're guided by an older man. I think the older man may be in spirit. It could be a lady. If you're a lady, I think it's a man. If you're a man, I think it's a lady. A lady in spirit or a man in spirit is guiding you today. There'll be many spirit guides, but one of your main ones is a person in spirit who is older, make it a father figure or a mother figure, or a granddad. Let me know in the comments below. But they're guiding you and they're watching out for you. They may have got you to watch this reading today. They may have given you your lucky numbers. So your man that travels, I believe, if you haven't met him yet, you're going to, and he can blow hot and cold. That's the words I'm looking for. He can be really passionate, romantic one day, and when you go to bed, you wake up in the morning and he seems like a different bloke, a different person, and you think, where's he gone? And he's a bit of a romantic, a bit of a dreamer. He likes to dream. He loves to be in love when he's in love, but then he can go a bit funny sometimes, a bit strange. But underneath it all is a kind, sincere, almost poetic kind of person, maybe into music or the arts. In fact, he probably is into music or the art. Then there's another man in this reading, or lady, it depends on what you're looking for, who is linked to cash. Finance, money, could be wealthy. Could be a successful business lady or businessman. Wears a lot of expensive clothing, probably suits when he's working or she's working. Very much the old school, not not the modern people who like to dress in trainers and jeans. This person is from, well, the old school. That's what I said the first time. He's a traditionalist, that's it, and he or she, but most of you is a man, because I know that most of you watching this will be ladies. To complicate matters even further, there is contact for you, number 3, with somebody from your past. Someone from the past will get in touch, maybe accidentally, well, it seems accidentally, nothing's accidental, but nothing's coincidental, but it appears you may bump into this person, maybe down the village shops, maybe in the town, in the city, drinking places, the pubs, or you may meet him or her on Facebook or YouTube, or not YouTube, Instagram, isn't it? That's it. You may meet on social media, Twitter, that sort of thing. If this happens, you can go back to a certain extent, but usually the world of spirit will frown upon going back to old romances from years ago because they didn't work then. And when you meet the person again, they never look like they did then. That dream image has gone to somebody old and wrinkly and maybe a bit porky, but that shouldn't matter. It's what's in the heart that counts. But they can be disappointing sometimes, and sometimes they've been married and they've had kids and the history's changed and everything's changed. And as I said, it didn't work way back then. So usually the spirits will say don't go backwards. But this reading could be an exception to that, because there are gifts changing hands between you and this person. And man or woman, there's a lot of reminiscing going on. You may be chatting about memories you had, and you'll know that there have been or were a few very special moments between you. And you may feel that you missed out. And what if we'd taken it a bit further? What if I'd married him instead of the one I'm with now? Or what if I'd run away with him when I was a kid? Let me know in the comments, because I love romantic stories and it's very interesting. So you have a few men or ladies here, depending on what you're looking for. One is linked to money. One is an older person in spirit who looks after you, and I think he's with you now, and I think it's a man for most of you. One is a traveller who's romantic, loving, kind, sensitive, poetic, arty, but can go funny and a bit cold some days, but usually is pretty much hot and loves to treat, if it's a man and you're a lady, he loves to treat a lady like a lady. He'll open doors for you and buy you flowers and spoil you and treat you like a princess. The way you should be treated, by the way. Then you have another man here, coming through in the form of the major arcana, the magician. The magician. It means that he can do anything and be good at it. Doesn't wear a lot of suits, not like the other chap, but clean, smart, almost hippie-like in his appearance, laid back, tranquil, peaceful, loves a peaceful life, doesn't like any of this aggro, likes a bit of music, perhaps likes a bit of dope, but nothing serious, nothing heavy duty. This man, I think you'll know this man. If you don't, it could be the one from the past. As I said, if you're looking for a lady, it will be a lady, but for most of you, this is a man. Fairly long hair, a throwback to the 60s, a summer of love maybe, and he may still have the appearance for some of you that are a bit older or a bit more mature. So a very interesting reading, but it appears to me that you're looking for something, number 3. You're searching for something, and it's under your nose. You've already got it. You just need to see it. We'll see if the oracle cards back that up. They often do. So I think the man that travels, that's romantic, is about to make himself, well, he's about to forthcome, is that the right word, with an offer or a suggestion for you. It could be a wedding proposal, a marriage proposal. It could be a let's go move in together. Let's go on a cruise. It's going to offer you something special, something romantic. Tell me in the comments below. I will put the timestamps below, by the way, so you can pick out the cards if you want to look at the other ones as well. But very interesting. If someone from the past gets in touch, normally we say don't go back. Well, I do. The spirit world do. This time I think you probably could go back, but temptation is in the reading, so don't mess up what you've got now by going back to somebody and then regretting it. It's so easy to do. Temptation will try, well, it'll try you out to see how you react, how you respond. Don't fall for it. If you're happily married or with somebody, don't put it on the line. Don't wreck it because of an impulsive thing or someone from the past. It's happening a lot, especially with social media. Excuse me. So, another thing I've got here on a separate subject to what is he thinking about me, is that you may be in for a financial boost. I don't think it's massive, but if you use my lucky numbers it could be, but I think there's more money coming your way, more in the way of, it may not be money, but it's something that makes you feel more enriched, takes a bit of pressure off you, and I think a lot of you could do with that at the moment, especially in this country anyway. But some good stuff here. Don't fall for temptation. Watch out for things you've already got and you're searching for, and they're under your nose. As I said, back in your old backyard. Good song. And wait for a romantic offer from the man that travels, and possibly another romantic offer from somebody you knew years ago, who may not be like they were then. So remember, you're warned. Let's take a look at some oracle cards. Let's shift that out of the way. So many crystal balls here. This one here would break your leg if it fell on you. I can't even pick it up. So the first one here is a fire card. These have all been shuffled. Let's see what it says for you, number 3. Now, somebody's having a campfire, I think. That's the second one like that tonight, this evening, in beautiful Devon, where the sun has gone down over the Atlantic Ocean. So this one says, number 3. In fact, that's on top of a cliff. I don't think you can see that, especially if you're on a mobile phone, you won't see that. But it says to you, you're connected to Source, the spirit world. The light that shines through you leads the way. So it tells me you're inspired. If you're psychic, follow the light that you've already got, as I keep mentioning. The light that shines within you will show you the way. It will lead the way to where you know you want to get. And I think some of you have already got there. Let me know in the comments. Interesting. Let's try another one. What was that? That's another fire card here. Oh, a moody sky. Looks like an autumn sky over some water. This one, number 3, says you're sending out positive signals to attract new experiences. So it tells me that you're positive at the moment, and you need to be as well, because it's positive reading. You're sending out positive signals to attract new experiences. What does he think about you now is the title of this. I think, well, one or two of these possible three suitors are thinking an awful lot about you. In fact, I think they quite fancy you, number 3. So you've got something very special going on. This is an air card. That one's the wrong way up. I'll turn it over. Right. Inflatable with an outboard motor in the mist. I'm glad I'm not there with him. I always think of the Trollenberg Terror. Would you know what the Trollenberg Terror is? Let me know in the comments. It's an old story. It says to you, number 3, it's safe for you to stop comparing yourself to other people. Have you been comparing yourself to other people? Don't do it. You're special. You're beautiful. You're a child of the universe. You have a right to be here. As Max Ehrmann said in Desiderata, you are a child of the universe. Don't compare yourself to other people. You may think bad of yourself, and you mustn't do that. Last one, before your lucky numbers, the Earth, an Earth card. I love that one. Clover with a butterfly. Maybe a painting, that. I think it's too good for a photograph. It says to you, number 3, good things will happen when you give yourself some of the love you give to others. So, a bit like that one there. Love yourself. Good things will happen when you give yourself some of the love you give to others. Remember, love yourself. You are special. Now, I'm going to give you 6 lucky numbers that could change your life forever. If you gamble with these lucky numbers, you must do it responsibly. Don't get yourself into trouble. They don't work for everyone, and you don't need to use all 6. You can use 2 or 3 of them and some of your own and mix them up a bit. But I'm going to give you 6 lucky numbers. They may be familiar. They may be anniversaries, birthdays, addresses, car number plates you've had in the past. You may notice some of them mean things, birthdays sometimes, as I said. These numbers are, number 3, not number 3. They are, to start with, number 12, 16, 23, 29, 31, and 40. Do they ring any bells? Tell me in the comments. Do they mean anything to you? Because they may mean something to you soon. I've given you one more time. 12, 16, 23, 29, 31 and 40. These numbers could change your life forever. This time next week, you could be flying your own aeroplane. Concorde. No, not Concorde, that crashed, didn't it? You could, unfortunately, you could be flying your own aircraft, you could be buying a yacht or a new house. But as I said, gamble sensibly. I hope you enjoyed that, because it is quite a special reading, quite a complex one as well. And thank you for staying with me. As I said, if you have subscribed, thank you so much. I do appreciate that, and for your comments below. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so and share me with your friends on social media. And click that little bell icon and you'll be notified by YouTube every time I upload a new video, which should be once a week. But with COVID, it hasn't been quite that much, I'm afraid. But hoping to catch up now. So before I get ready for number 4, remember number 3, wherever you are in this world, think lucky and you will be lucky. Think love and you will be loved. And I love every single one of you. Take it easy. Stay cool. Catch you later. Bye-bye. Hello again, thank you for staying with me. If you chose number 4 card stack, this is for you. Number 4, and it's called What is he thinking about me, or what is she thinking about me? My most popular title, which I do usually about once a month because it changes. People that watch it change, people's needs change, and the world changes. This is a timeless reading, as I keep saying, which means you can find it today, next year, or 5 or 10 years from today. It makes no difference when you find this reading. You'll find it when your spirit guides want you to find it. And if you found it today and you chose number 4 from these hundreds of cards here, there will be a meaning in here for you somewhere. Maybe more than one, maybe a few. It won't all resonate with you. Take in what does, ignore what doesn't, or pick a different stack or a different reading. I've got 100 and odd on the 130 odd on the YouTube, and most of them are timeless. So what's he thinking about me? What is she thinking about me? It's a love reading, of course. Let's tell you the negatives first. It may be negative, it may not be, but you're dealing with possible officialdom, the laws. That can sometimes mean divorces for some people, but you'll know about that. You don't need a psychic reading for that. Some of you, on a separate subject, will be dealing with officials like the tax department or benefit people or filling in legal documents, that kind of thing. It may not be negative, but they can be troublesome and irritating, to say the least. So expect that, but you'll deal with that. You'll be okay. You have a few negatives, but very few. I think as far as your love life goes, what is he thinking about me? I think, number 4, that you're making things harder than it should be. I think you're doing everything the hard way. Some of you, not all of you. I'm not telling you off, but some of you are doing things the hard way. You're pushing water uphill and getting nowhere, and you need to back off a bit, cool down, take it easy. Because you may be causing trouble that you don't need for yourself, I mean. There are also signs that some of you feel trapped. Some of you feel imprisoned almost, stuck, as if you can't move. A lot of that can be, I'm not telling you off again, but it can be because you're ignoring things that you should be dealing with. So if something needs your attention, don't do it the hard way. Get rid of it, deal with it. It's like when you put the gas bill on the mantelpiece and it worries you and eats away at you because you're struggling for money, and it's still there after 6 weeks, so you gain nothing by worrying. So try and deal with what you can as and when you can, and you can't always do that, I know, but don't turn a blind eye to things. And if your partner or your lover has a problem, address it. Talk about it. Don't tell him off, but talk about it, or don't tell her off. But deal with it, because this reading shows me puzzles of complications, a thimble full of puzzles, I call it, where you are seeing problems that may be exasperated by doing everything the hardest way possible, or completely ignoring them altogether. So you need to sort of draw a happy medium. I know that you'll know what I mean. Tell me in the comments, please. I love to read your comments. So look out for legal stuff or official done, tax inspectors, forms to fill in. It may be you're moving house and you need to sign contracts. They're not always negatives. It could be a lovely thing, but it can be negative. Don't do things the hard way. Stop pushing water uphill. And if you're working at your job too much, don't do that either. Don't do too many hours. Don't let them put up on you. I know it's nothing to do with love, but it can affect your love life. Don't be put upon at work. If you are, I'd like to know about it. Tell me. So the negatives are really quite easy to sort out. There's no real... You've got a bit of stress here, but every reading has stress. Those of you with children, let's tell you the positives. Those of you with children can expect much happier times coming up. And I am looking here now at 12 to 14 weeks ahead. From whenever you find this, you could find it in 2050. I hope I'm still here then. Do you think I will be? Probably not. But when you find this reading, you may be on another planet somewhere and find it. It's irrelevant when you find it. It'll still be meaningful. That's what I'm trying to say. On a separate subject to love again, you may be, some of you, offered a new job. You may be offered a new contract. You may be offered promotion, which will mean that you're given more to do, but it tells me that you're good at what you do and they appreciate you, even though they probably never tell you. They may tell you soon, and it's about time they did. But it's good for your confidence, it's good for your self-esteem, because this reading indicates to me that you're coming to the end of an era, and you may have seen the death card. It scares people to death. This card is not to be feared. It means the end of an era. The death of problems sometimes, getting rid of all the rubbish. Putting the past behind you and opening a brand new chapter. It very rarely shows death in a psychic reading. The spirit world do not reveal that. That's Hollywood stuff. Bereavements and death are classed as major secrets. If you see a death in a reading, it's usually because you're expecting it and you know it's coming anyway. And somebody's not very well. But the death card means the end of an era, putting all the stuff behind you that you don't need, looking forward to an exciting, sometimes blissful new beginning. And this reading, as you may have seen, the Ace of Cups. Aces nearly always mean the new beginning. Number one, ace. The Ace of Cups, which would be the Ace of Hearts in the deck of cards. The Ace of Cups, the cups mean love. And this cup is overflowing. Can you see that? I don't know if you can or not. It's overflowing with love. This means to me, number four, you have a new lover coming, a really serious new lover coming, or you've got a rekindling of an existing love affair, which you're going to make stronger again. You're going to get the jump leads out, stick them on the battery and charge it up a bit. Do you have jump leads in America? Well, that's what we call them here. In England, I think they're called jump leads. So when the car won't start, put the jump leads on and bang. If you have a love affair that's gone stale, this card indicates that you're going to make it new again. But it can mean, and usually does mean, a brand new love affair. So what is he thinking about you now? That's the question. To me, it's thinking, if you've met him already, or her, they're thinking that they are falling in love with you, number four. That's what they're thinking. And here you see the Page of Cups. Another cup card, love card. He's making an offer. You can see by his gesture that he's making an offer. There's a fish in the cup. That indicates birth, which can mean babies, but it usually means the birth of a romance. He's making you a romantic offer, because cups are romantic. The Page of Cups, he or she is lively, could be an actor if they want it to be. They're quite talented in that kind of way. They could be in showbiz. I'm sure most of them are not, but they could be if they wanted to be. They love the sea, they love the water. They may be a water sign, they may come from water, they may live by water. This chap or girl is making you an offer, so he's thinking about you. That's the question. The title of this reading is, what is he thinking about me? He's thinking about you a lot. Let me know in the comments. I'll be so pleased to know. As I said, anyone with children, this reading looks brilliant. The children part of it can involve movement. So some of you, going back to legal stuff and documents, some of you are moving house. And some of you may have been trying to move for quite a while and it hasn't been going right. But some of you will be moving soon. Some of you are going into a more rural setting, away from the built-up area, the traffic and the motorways. Not all of you. Some of you are going to water. Let me know in the comments. This movement will bring happiness, almost a 90% guarantee. It will bring much more happiness. So don't be frightened of it. Move if you can, especially if it's rural, away from the town centres. So you have the end of an era, movement, you have a possible job offer or financial improvement. You're working too hard at work, you're working too hard with your romance, you're ignoring things that you need to deal with, which is making you feel trapped. When you move house, you've got to change everything. Drop all the rubbish in the past, leave it behind you in the past where it belongs, and look forward to a wonderful future, because most of you, as I say, it won't resonate with all of you, most of you have got it made, and there's some good stuff coming, especially in the romantic department. And I'm thrilled to see this, because I love to see this, because some of the readings tonight haven't been very lovey-dovey at all. But this one is, and it's coming, or it's intensifying. And I think this man, and it's man for most of you, because most of you are ladies watching this, but for most of you it's men, sometimes it's ladies, but this man or lady is about to make a serious romantic suggestion. It could be a wedding, a marriage proposal, a let's move in together, let's go around the world together. It's not just let's go out for a Big Mac. This is a serious romantic offer. Let me know in the comments, please. And click a like. And if you like to share me with your friends on Facebook and all that lot, please do so. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And click that little bell icon and you'll get notified by YouTube every time I release a new video, which should be once a week, but with COVID, it hasn't been quite so much. So stop making hard work of things, number 4. I think you've got some good stuff coming. Take off the blindfold. You can see she's wearing a blindfold there. Take it off. Look at things. Stop ignoring things. They won't go away on their own. Deal with them. Let's check with some oracle cards. 4 oracle cards. Then I'm going to give you 6 lucky numbers. Remember, these lucky numbers could change your life forever. These lucky numbers, this time next week, you could be driving your own yacht. Is driving the right word? Sailing your own yacht. Buying your new dream home. Flying in a private jet. Remember, gamble safely. The 6 lucky numbers are coming up after these oracle cards. Don't go without them, please. There's 4 oracle cards. The first one, shuffled as well, is an earth card. Let's see what this says. This reminds me of, well, my trip to the Rocky Mountains in Canada. I don't know if it's there. Let me know in the comments. You may recognise that place. And it says to you, number 4, your struggles, I don't believe it. It's backing up what I said. Your struggles will end when you start trying to be happy instead of right. So it may be that your stubbornness is because you often think that you're right, and sometimes you're not, I'm afraid. Not always, and not all of you. But your struggles will end when you start trying to be happy instead of being right. That's what it says. If you know what that means, because it will mean something, different things to different people, let me know in the comments. Your struggles will end when you start to be happy, trying to be happy instead of being right. This is a water card we have here, splashing in the sunshine. This one says, number 4, extra magical energy surrounds your situation right now. Expect miracles. If that's not backing up what I told you, I don't know what is. Extra magical energy surrounds you now. Your situation now, right now. Expect miracles. I'll read that again so I get it right this time. Extra magical energy surrounds your situation right now. Expect miracles. Looking good. If you want a psychic reading with my team, by the way, go to davidcharlespsychic.com or David Charles Psychic Limited. I only employ the best, and they'll read for you from anywhere in the world. I've got 120 psychics at my disposal, and they're good. And let me know in the comments what they say if you get on with them. Another card, this is an air card, before your lucky numbers. What do you think of that? A feather floating on the breeze. Some people say that means you've been visited by a spirit. What do you think? Do you agree with that? Let me know. This says the answer is near. You just need to look a little closer to home. What I've been telling you, you've already got what you're looking for. These things are back. I promise you, these have been shuffled. The answer is near. You just need to look a little closer to home. It's under your nose, number 4. Let me know if you find it. Interesting. One more, then your lucky numbers. An air card. Remember that? Dandelions. Blowing a dandelion. He loves me not. She loves me not. I always got not. I don't know why that is. Anyway, I'm only joking. This dandelion card, this air card, says, have hope. You have the power to make that change. Now make it. Have hope. You have the power to make that change. Now make it. Every single one of these 4 cards has backed up what I've told you. Make the changes. If you're going to move house, go and do it. Don't say in 10 years, if only we'd moved to the countryside. You have to make things happen sometimes. These lucky numbers may help you. So, these lucky numbers, there's 6 of them. You don't need to use all 6. You can use 2 or 3 and some of your own lucky numbers if you're gambling on lotteries and that sort of thing. But please gamble safely, responsibly. Don't get us all into trouble. These lucky numbers may be familiar. They could be car number plates you've had, anniversaries, birthdays, wedding anniversaries, divorce anniversaries. They may be familiar. Let me know in the comments. I'll tell you what they are. You may need a pen. Your first one, number 4, is number 4. That happened with number 2 earlier. Your first one is number 4, 13, 14, 29, 37 and 46. Do they ring any bells? Will they make you rich beyond your wildest dreams? I'll give them you again. Number 4, 13, 14, 29, 37 and 46. I think you've got it made, number 4. I think you've got a good reading here. And they've been pretty good tonight. Not all lovey-dovey, but this one certainly is. And I thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I love your comments. I'd love it if you subscribe to our lovely family. I've got thousands of followers now, and I think the world of all of them. So remember number 4. Wherever you go in this world, remember my motto, think lucky and you will be lucky. Think love and you will be loved. And I love every one of you. Stay cool. Take it easy. Catch you later. Bye-bye.